Clark has accepted Dave Portnoy $10 million offer.
Caitlin Clark just made a choice that has the WNBA really worried. Dave Portnoy invited her to take part in his huge online golf tournament, and she agreed. This isn't a small charity event, it gets 20 to 25 million viewers and could have a prize pool of $10 million. While the WNBA is still struggling to figure out how to promote its biggest star, Portnoy has already secured her for next year. It's no surprise the league is feeling the pressure.
You can use Caitlin Clark's accepted $10 million deal, olive branch from...
Here's the real question. Should Caitlin Clark keep growing her brand outside of basketball, or should she focus only on the WNBA? Let's talk about what's going on, because it's a bigger deal than people think. Dave Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports and someone known for not caring who he upsets, has been turning his internet invitational golf event into something huge. This isn't a normal celebrity golf outing where people just show up, play badly, and call it charity. Portnoy teamed up with Bob Do Sports, a golf creator with a massive following, and together they've built an event that pulls in viewership numbers most sports leagues would love to have.
I don't know what will get there. I'd like to do a 10 million pool next year. See, I think it's going to be a lot easier to get money, sponsors, all this stuff. We proved it. Year two, you really prove it, and then you got something. I've invited 2 people so far. They both said yes. I don't know how serious the yeses are. Caitlin said yes. Kaya Trump said yes. Those are my 2 that I've asked. Whether push comes to shove and those 2 are available and do it, who knows?
When Portnoy was asked about next year's tournament and whether he planned to make it even bigger, he didn't hesitate. He said it would happen every year. No, maybe, no, we'll see. Then he revealed something that probably made WNBA executives nervous. He has invited 2 people so far, and both said yes, Caitlin Clark and Kaya Trump. Portnoy admitted he doesn't know how firm those yes are or whether schedules will actually work out, but the fact that Clark agreed at all shows how serious she is about growing her brand. And with a hope for a $10 million prize pool next year, it's easy to see why a $10 million prize pool for a golf tournament filled with internet creators, athletes, and celebrities is huge, and the part that should scare the WNBA is this: if Caitlin Clark actually commits and shows up, sponsors will be lining up to pour money into the event. Her appearance alone guarantees massive views, engagement, and media attention, the same value the WNBA keeps failing to fully appreciate. This all started at the Annika Pro Am, where Clark played alongside other celebrities at Pelican Golf Club. We covered how she broke attendance and viewership records, how the LPGA treated her like a superstar, and how different that was from the WNBA's approach. Portnoy saw all of that. He saw the numbers, felt the excitement, and moved quickly to secure Clark for his tournament before anyone else had the chance.
You talked about if Caitlin did her own league. Do you know anything about what you would want to see her do? You said you'd partner with her and give her $100 million. That's the biggest offer that she's gotten.
If she would have let me be her agent, I would have in a second. And if she's like, I'll start a new league with you, I would get her whatever you want. I don't think she'll ever do that. Like, I talk with her never about that stuff. She has State Farm, Nike, Gatorade. Those are like blue blood. Ryan's a Tom Brady in a way. Like, very rarely, if ever, publicly says anything that like should cause any waves. She's kind of like been a good trooper for the Fever and the league. So I think she wants to make the WNBA work. I think she grew up wanting to play in it, but you have to have a certain personality. Like, I think if she truly was like, I'm out of here, I'm starting my own league, she'd have people lining up, including myself, and she would put the WNBA out of business. I really do believe that.
What makes Portnoy's approach so effective is that he understands something the WNBA still seems to miss. You don't sit around waiting for stars to come to you, you go after them, give them real opportunities, and show them they're valued. The WNBA has spent 2 seasons letting Clark get pushed around on the court with little protection and only lukewarm marketing. Meanwhile, Portnoy watched her play in one golf event and immediately said, I want her at my tournament next year. That's the difference between groups that understand star power and those that take it for granted. And now, Sophie Cunningham's role in all of this makes the situation even more interesting. Sophie Cunningham worked as a celebrity caddy at the Annika Pro Am alongside Lexi Hull, and something surprising happened. People noticed she actually has a really good golf swing. Even though she says she doesn't play much, she showed real natural talent. Now she's taking that seriously. On her podcast Show Me Something, which she hosts with reality TV personality Wes Wilson, Sophie said she thinks she has real potential in golf and wants to start playing more often. She explained that her usual way to relax is being by the pool or beach, while golf has always been Clark's escape. But after their experience at the Annika event, Sophie wants to be part of that, too. She even said that she, Caitlin, and Lexi plan to play more together because they had such a great time. It felt completely different from basketball in the best way. That means 3 Indiana Fever teammates bonding over golf in the off-season, growing chemistry, and opening the door to brand and content opportunities beyond what the WNBA can currently offer. Sophie's podcast also adds a twist. There were talks about moving it to Barstool Sports, which would have brought her under Portnoy's media network, but due to existing commitments, the deal couldn't happen, so the show ended up on Colin Cowherd's network, The Volume. It's still a great platform, but imagine if Sophie had actually joined Barstool. The mix of her content, Portnoy's golf tournament, and Caitlin Clark's growing presence in golf could have turned into something huge. All of this shows how athletes build their brands today. It's no longer about staying in one lane or relying on your league to promote you. It's about creating multiple income streams, building relationships across different industries, and putting yourself where new opportunities can open up. Clark already understands this naturally. Sophie is starting to figure it out. Meanwhile, the WNBA is left on the sidelines, wondering why its players keep finding bigger success in spaces the league doesn't control. And to really understand how big this is, we need to look at the kind of viewership numbers Portnoy is pulling in. Portnoy said his Internet Invitational brought in around 20 to 25 million views in just about a month. For comparison, most WNBA regular season games barely reach 1 million viewers. Even the league's biggest games, the ones featuring Clark, might hit 2 or 3 million on a really good day. Meanwhile, Portnoy is pulling in 10 times that with a golf tournament built around internet personalities. And now he's adding the biggest star in women's basketball to next year's lineup.
I don't care what the league did 10 years ago or 5 years ago. That doesn't matter, and that doesn't matter in any negotiation. It's like, well, we haven't made money for 15 years, 20 years, or whatever. That doesn't matter. It is now. Like, it is now, and you have to take advantage of it now, and that's how it works. So you never know, because she is in the middle, and commissioners are always in the middle, and commissioners are always going to take the brunt of what the owners don't want to feel. And who even knows what the real numbers are? Like, when they came out, well, the owners, it's all mixed in with the WNBA, the NBA. It's super convoluted to actually figure out how much they're making, how much they're losing, and it's in the owner's interest not to really have the true numbers if they're going up. But just the television ratings and all the media deals. I wrote an article when Caitlin signed her Nike deal. Like, instantly. I'm like, this is the dumbest. I wish I was her agent. Like, she got screwed. And she did. If you look back at it, like, the power of her, and when her shoe comes out, like, we'll see what the sales are. They're paying Devin Booker, I think, $40 million a year.
Yeah, I think Caitlin's like getting 8, right?
In what universe is Devin Booker worth $40 million a year and Caitlin's worth 8? It's insane. So it's all there, it's all up, and they're not taking advantage of it. And clearly the players have lost faith in Kathy.
The numbers paint a harsh picture for the WNBA. Their biggest star gets more attention playing golf with the founder of Barstool Sports than she does playing actual basketball in their league. And that's not Clark's fault. It's a major marketing failure by the WNBA. They were handed a once-in-a-generation talent, someone who packed arenas in college and brought more attention to women's basketball than ever before. Instead of protecting and promoting her, the league allowed other players to rough her up on the court while putting out weak statements about competitive play. Portnoy saw Clark at one golf event and immediately made sure she'd be part of his tournament. The LPGA watched her appear at one Pro-Am and treated her like the superstar she is. Somehow, every organization outside the WNBA seems to understand Clark's value better than the league she actually plays in. That's embarrassing, and it should worry anyone in the WNBA who cares about the league's future. Some people might say Clark should focus only on basketball and leave brand building for later, but that's not how modern athlete careers work. Playing careers are short, injuries can happen at any time, and public attention changes quickly. You build your brand while you're at your peak, when people are paying attention and opportunities are in front of you. Clark is in that moment right now. Waiting would make no sense. The golf angle especially works for her for several reasons. First, golf has huge crossover appeal with the exact audience sponsors love to reach. Second, it's a low-risk sport compared to basketball, so she can take part without risking her main career. Third, golf creates loads of content and visibility, helping her reach new fans and expand her brand far beyond the WNBA. Fourth, golf helps her build connections with powerful people in media and business, the kind of relationships she would never get just by staying inside basketball. Fifth, it's something she truly enjoys, which makes her involvement feel real instead of forced. That kind of authenticity matters more than most people think. When athletes take part in events or partnerships that don't fit them, fans can tell right away. But Clark's connection to golf feels natural because she actually loves the sport. She's been playing for years, she's genuinely good at it, and you can clearly see how much fun she has on the course. That authenticity leads to the kind of real engagement brands can't fake. Sophie Cunningham learning this at the same time as Clark opens up some interesting possibilities for the Fever's overall brand. Now you have 3 teammates connecting through golf, creating content together, and building stronger chemistry away from basketball, all of which helps their individual brands and their team image grow beyond the limits of the WNBA. That kind of natural team chemistry is what leads to championships and helps grow a real fan base. Other WNBA teams should be paying attention to what Indiana is building and asking themselves why their own players aren't finding similar opportunities. Portnoy's invitation also shows how much Clark's influence has grown in the sports media world. Dave Portnoy doesn't invite people because he needs them, he invites people who bring value. His decision to bring Clark into his event is proof that she's now one of the most valuable names in all of sports. Not just women's sports, period. That difference matters because it shows Clark has moved beyond the limiting labels often placed on female athletes. When Portnoy talks about creating a $10 million prize pool for next year, he's not guessing, he's doing the math. He knows that if Clark participates, sponsors will line up to support the event at levels that easily justify that kind of prize money. He knows viewership will skyrocket and media coverage will be non-stop because anything Clark does becomes news. He's not doing her a favor by inviting her, he's making a smart business decision that helps both sides. And that's exactly what the WNBA doesn't seem to understand. Their relationship with Clark should benefit everyone. She brings fans, ticket sales, and revenue. The WNBA should be giving Clark real protection, strong marketing, and pay that reflects her true value. Instead, the relationship often feels one-sided. Clark brings in huge attention and revenue, while the league gives her very little in return. Other organizations see that gap and jump in to take advantage of the value the WNBA isn't using. There's also a free agency angle here. Sophie Cunningham has an important decision coming up about her future. If she keeps building off-season business and brand opportunities alongside her Fever teammates, that gives her even more reason to stay in Indiana, not just for basketball, but for everything they're creating together off the court. Players today make career decisions based on the overall opportunities they can access, not just the contract numbers. If the Fever can offer an environment where players grow their brands and their basketball careers, that becomes a major recruiting advantage. And that leads back to the main point. Caitlin Clark saying yes to Dave Portnoy's invitation is another example of her building value outside the WNBA's control. She's not waiting for the league to market her properly or hoping they eventually appreciate her worth. She's creating her own opportunities, working with people who understand her value, and building a brand that will grow no matter what the WNBA does. The league has every reason to be nervous. The issue isn't that Clark going to a golf tournament directly hurts the WNBA, it's that it shows how easily she can create massive attention without the league's help. Every time she succeeds outside the WNBA, it highlights how much the league is losing by not valuing her properly. Every record she breaks at a golf event is a headline that could have been about basketball if the league had handled things better. Portnoy's invitation proves something big. The market for Caitlin Clark reaches far beyond basketball, far beyond women's sports, and far beyond anything the WNBA has planned for. And while he's ready to invest serious money to tap into that market, the WNBA is still stuck debating salary caps and bargaining rules. Clark said yes to Portnoy because she understands something the WNBA still hasn't figured out. Her value goes far beyond basketball, and the smartest partners are willing to pay for it. While the league continues to debate what to do with its biggest star, everyone else is racing to work with her. Portnoy secured her with one conversation. The WNBA has had her for 2 years and still hasn't fully recognized what she brings to the table. If this breakdown helped explain why Clark keeps thriving outside of basketball, make sure to stick around, there's much more to come in this story.